Bombshell news, as there are claims of proof that the embryos shared between a certain Rocket Man and AH, those turned out to be legit, as in there were telephone calls that verified this. The information, it was tracked down to a clinic in LA, which if you remember, Jennifer Howell brought up in her declaration saying that Rocket Man, he didn't want these things around. He wanted them destroyed. And in fact, there was a lawsuit, but that AH, she wanted to keep them. Why? Because she wanted to have a baby. And this is only the tip of the confirmation iceberg, according to the same person who says they verified other items that Jennifer Howell said in her testimony, which you and I are going to talk about today. I mean, this stuff, this is crazy times. This is crazy times indeed. All right, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. This information, it comes to us from one House in Habit, from her Substack. That would be Jessica Reed Krause.substack.com, allegedly confirming everything that Jennifer Howell had to say. Now, here's the kicker, too. As far as Jennifer Howell is concerned, we're not talking about some quote-unquote rando. You know that favorite word that AH loves to throw on people when they come out and they testify because they are just people in the audience? No, this is somebody with such an intimate and direct connection to AH's family that she was referred to by AH's own sister, Whitney, as a chosen sister. Her chosen sister. She had nothing to gain by backing JD. Everything to lose. And in the aftermath, her home has been broken into. She has had threats against her, her business, and so much more. Why? Because she made statements like this. I mean, really drink this in here. So I knew Paige Heard. That would be AH and Whitney's mother. Paige shared with me while I was visiting Whitney that a certain Rocket Man had gifted a Tesla or multiple Teslas. Not sure if it was one or more, but AH found out that they were quote-unquote bugged. Paige told me that AH said that the Rocket Man, he was controlling, he was abusive, and that she was in a legal battle with him over the rights to embryos that they had created together. He wanted to destroy them. AH tried to keep them to have a baby. Paige also told me that JD was either an angel or a saint compared to the Rocket Man, and she wished that the two, they had stayed together. Now, as far as Jennifer Howell's two main claims there are concerned, they're huge claims, by the way, but we'd be talking about the bugging of Teslas. We're also talking about the embryos. House in Habit addresses both. She addresses them in two separate newsletters. One of them dropped yesterday. One of them dropped a couple of weeks ago. And as far as this stuff is concerned, too, she's also said that she's had threats of litigation from both parties. She feels that she can stand up to discovery there, but the first item it's brought up with out-of-control parties, it was talking about AH. She says this, coming from a source that she calls Gia. Quote, but partying dominated their off time. The drugs, they fueled the worst in both, igniting erratic temper in her, frantic paranoia in him. When he realized that she was cheating, he bugged not only her cars here, you notice, he bugged her houses and started tracking her cars. A rumor solidly confirmed by Jennifer Howell, who said that AH gave Whitney, so that would be the sister there, the Tesla that the Rocket Man had gifted her when she realized it was outfitted with high-tech tracking devices monitoring her every move. So not only is she saying we confirmed here the bugging of the items, but going further than that, she gave that item to her sister when she found out that that was bugged. Oh man, I mean that's great behavior there, right? Now, House in Habit really puts it on the line, in my opinion, talking about the embryo portion here. Why? Well, number one, they put out another newsletter. They're detailing even more information. The embryo stuff, by the way, that's just the tip of the proverbial iceberg of the things that they're alleging here. Number two, though, they're saying, I confirmed this information. I have two sources that worked at the fertility clinic, not a fertility clinic that went in and checked stuff, did whatever, talked to sources. Nope. I myself talked to them. They worked at that place in LA. I confirmed it myself. Look at how this comes up in the newsletter, too. I'm not going to read everything. You should definitely look up and subscribe to their newsletter, but listen to what they're saying here. For those new here, I feel the need to clarify that I am not, nor never have been, an anti-Rocket Man critic. Quite the opposite, actually. I'm a longtime fan. I've always appreciated his humor, have often aligned with many of his outspoken political points, especially in an era of growing censorship. So you can imagine this whole trial dive has been a rude awakening, having to question everything about someone I not only like but respect. Yeah, that's the kicker there, because somebody has good PR, they put out funny memes. That doesn't mean that they relate to you from their elitist stance with billions, trillions, or whatever, to where you are. Continuing. Yet here we are, dissecting him regularly these days. Billionaire stories, they usually bore me, but they're weird enough to keep the headlines spinning. Now this is where things I thought really get interesting. Sources I spoke to about the Rocket Man had mostly similar insights to share. They all agree that he is fantastic one-on-one. I would agree with that, by the way. He does great interviews talking about his work or his visions, but he's a quote-unquote literal disaster in any social setting. One source described him in the work environment as quote-unquote chatty. You see the label that they put there? Chatty. This is why we know as much as we do, because he's chatty here, the man. He likes to gossip. A lot of folks like this, they like that too. They like to tell people everything going on because they feel like there's no ramification. Nobody can put it out. Again, they're very litigious. Look at what House and Habit notes next. Near the end of the JDAH trial, another mystery source sent me an email claiming to have inside information about the Rocket Man and the quote-unquote rumored embryos. That's interesting. Now, I've had sources hit me up claiming things like that too, but I have never seen confirmation there, so I myself am not saying I've seen that. She says, though, it's a fact that I had long confirmed. So she herself is saying, I went out, I confirmed this information thanks to two sources who worked at the fertility clinic in Los Angeles. Again, they're not saying they did some kind of check into this. They're saying they have the direct connect, and they go on detailing even more stuff from there. This, though, like I said, is big news because Jennifer Howell, because of baby news, because of so many other things as well. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. And as always, I appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. Thank you. I can't say that enough. You make the channel work. Thanks. And if you want to help out, links are in the description. That helps out even more. You being here, though, biggest help of all. Thank you. Share this stuff. Like I said, appreciate you. Going to end here. Thank you again, and we will see you soon.